Greetings, YouTube. Today we're taking a look at a Civivi knife, the Dogma. And it comes in this nice pouch. And it comes with desiccant pack, which I don't really need. A little documentation, a polishing cloth, which I thought was a nice touch, and a sticker, which I thought was pretty cool. So, yeah, it's a nice little package, and it is lined for the protection of your knife. So, very nice packaging. And again, this is the Dogma, and I purchased it in the blue. I believe it was available in at least 3 colors, if my memory serves me correct. And one of the things I saw right off the bat was that I liked these scales. This kind of faux bone jigging vibe going on here. I really liked the way that looked. And they are contoured. They are curved this way. And they, first thing off the bat when I took it out of the box is that finish, all of it is really nice. I liked a little C there on the pivot. That's a nice touch. Good deep pocket clip. Yeah, that's what I want to say. Not too much tension, not too little tension. Well done. Nice lanyard hold. You might get some paracord through there if you really wanted to. And it is completely protected from the blade, so that the blade is never going to come in contact with your whatever you're using as a lanyard. Reversible pocket clip, no less. You have to take out the screw, reverse it, and put the screw back in, because this screw is being used to hold the scale in place, which would then be used for that on this side. You have semi-open construction. This is a piece of, obviously, another piece of blue G10. And this texture here is great, because if you look at this section in here, and this is the contoured but untextured section, this would be too smooth. If this was in your pocket, you'd have a difficult time getting the knife out, because that is just not offering a lot of grip. But with just that little bit of extra, it comes in and out of your pocket very comfortably without any difficulty. Because some pocket clips have shapes that allow you to kind of grab them like this. You'd have to come up like this to do that, and I didn't have to do that. I could just go like this, and the natural wedge shaped, along with the texture provided, came in and out of the pocket without any difficulty. This is obviously a fighter flipper, so let's get this out of their way, and we're gonna beautiful action right out of the gate. First time I ever did it, beautiful. Just click. Can I do a drop on this one? Yeah, just barely. Sorry, this is an awkward angle. Most of the time, however, I just do that when I close my knives. It's easier that way. And the blade shape is quite attractive, don't you think? This swedging in here is just beautiful. And the lines are wonderfully even. Everything is exactly from side to side. It's beautiful. So it's within close enough margins that I couldn't tell. It has a cutout here, and the cutout is for aesthetics only. You cannot really open this knife with this cutout at all. This obviously has a deep hollow grind, which is, for me, a downside. I'm not a big hollow grind fan. I prefer flat grinds. I find them aesthetically pleasing. They give you more meat on your blade. I believe they have a superior cutting experience, and I firmly believe that the only place a hollow grind belongs is on a straight razor. I know that'll be a fight that I'll be having with people for a very long time. But it comes to a secondary bevel, which is beautiful. See that? See the light play on that, man? It's beautiful, and it comes out of the box with a shaving sharp edge. Just really, I actually have found myself at work while carrying this, and I needed to cut a small piece of paper, cut a strip out of it, and I would just put the paper on the table, and the table is Delrin, so the table's not going to hurt the blade, and just went, and it just cut the paper like a razor. It was awesome. Now, other than this providing an aesthetic, and I've seen this in a number of different Civivi knives, this makes me a little nervous, because this piece of metal here is thinner than the width of the blade. And I feel that if you were to drop this knife and it were to land like this, you would run the risk of bending it. Which isn't going to detract from the blade's functionality, but it would ruin the lines. And it's going to bug the crap out of somebody who owns knives and loves them like we do. You're not watching this video unless you're into knives. Nice little package. Now, one of the things I was confused about when I got this, I was confused when I purchased it, but when I got it, so I think the more I thought about it, I'm like, why the heck did they call this Dogma? I cannot fathom of any positive association with the word. Am I losing something in here? Is this, like, are the people that made this not English speakers naturally, and so they chose a word they thought had a positive connotation? I can tell you, it doesn't. So I was mystified. I mean, I was kind of confused when the CJRB was called the Gobi, because the knife had nothing to do with the Gobi Desert, nor apparently there's a food called Gobi. I didn't know that till I did an internet search. But it's a neutral term. Dogma is not a neutral term. Dogma is most definitely a negative term. So I was severely confused why they called that. If anybody can tell me why Civivi called this the Dogma, I would love to know. I believe this is the first Civivi I've owned, and I'm very impressed with the build. For me, it would have been, to really knock this out of the park, it would have to have a flat grind. But I know that is not something that's going to affect most people who are looking for a knife that is very comfortable. And since I have a scale here, let's do a weight of it too. Comfortable, doesn't take up a lot of pocket real estate. 91 grams, not particularly heavy. I can't remember, does this thing have? Yes, it has skeletonized scales as well. I forgot to mention that. Get right in there, and they're triangular skeletonizing machining they did, or punching on it. They may have machined this, it could have been punched, I'm not sure. But that really does take the maximum amount of metal you can take out without completely destroying the structural integrity of the liner, which is awesome. Having skeletonized liners makes the knife much lighter and more comfortable in the hand. It feels much more, lively. It doesn't feel like a dead piece of metal in your hand. But yeah, nice little knife. The name confuses me, but overall, a wonderful carry, great packaging, nice accessories. It wasn't particularly expensive. I think this was $48, so it's under the $50 mark, and that puts it into a ballpark that is going to be very approachable by a whole lot of people. So if you ever considered buying a Civivi, definitely check out one of their blades. It's worth your time.